Hi, I'm George Swede from Toronto, Canada. I made this video for the Bridgewater International Poetry Festival Fall 2020 virtual event. I published my first poem in 1969 and my most recent one in fall 2020. At first I wrote only in free verse, but then in 1975 became intrigued by the haiku form and since then have published mainly haiku and related forms. For this video, I will read 11 haiku, and I will read each one twice, because sometimes the meaning is lost upon first hearing. This first haiku appeared in a New York Times book review in 1987, as well as a PhD thesis in 1989. Unhappy wife, I pedal my bike through puddles. Unhappy wife, I pedal my bike through puddles. Next is one of 4 of mine in haiku, a Polish anthology published in 1992 and edited by the 1980 Nobel laureate for poetry, Czesław Miłosz. One button undone on the clerk's blouse. I let her steal my change. One button undone on the clerk's blouse. I let her steal my change. This next poem was included in a 1984 PhD thesis and was read on BBC Radio in 2000. Night begins to gather between her breasts. Night begins to gather between her breasts. Next is a piece that appeared in the London Times in 2000 and was quoted by former US Poet Laureate Billy Collins in his introduction to the anthology Haiku in English, The First 100 Years, out in 2013. Passport check. My shadow waits across the border. Passport check. My shadow waits across the border. The following one was in a review in the Halifax Herald by George Eliot Clarke, a former Canadian Poet Laureate. Dawn, remembering her bad grammar. Dawn, remembering her bad grammar. Next, a poem, one of 9 of mine in the video game Haiku Journey that came out in 2006. Statues in the square. The raised hand of the war hero fills with snow. Statues in the square. The raised hand of the war hero fills with snow. This poem, one of 4 of mine in Baseball Haiku, published in 2007, was quoted along with another one of mine in the Washington Post in 2008 by reviewer Mary Carr, a New York Times best-selling author. Empty baseball field. A dandelion seed floats through the strike zone. Empty baseball field. A dandelion seed floats through the strike zone. The following piece appeared as kinetic typography or moving type on YouTube first in 2011. At the height of the argument, the old couple pour each other tea. At the height of the argument, the old couple pour each other tea. The following poem, one of the 9 of mine, is in Haiku in English, The First 100 Years. One by one to the floor, all of her shadows. One by one to the floor, all of her shadows. Next is a poem, one of 17 of mine, in the art of reading and writing haiku, which came out in 2019. Leaving my loneliness inside her. Leaving my loneliness inside her. The last piece, one of 30 of mine, is in the Norton Haiku Anthology 1999. At the end of myself, pencil tip. At the end of myself, pencil tip. If you want to know more about my work, go to Wikipedia or to georgeswede.com. Thank you.